And it is so cold outside. It must be like negative 17 degrees or something. I actually saw a news article about how cold it was going to be, and it's insane. Like, it's so cold that, like, I went outside for a couple minutes, and my house was, like, hot when I came in, and my heat was set at, like, 65. So my house was set at 65. I went outside for, like, a minute or two, and then I was, like, hot when I came in. Um, but actually, like, my basement window still isn't replaced because basically my home was sabotaged and all the people that I was paying to repair things actually broke things instead. So, I mean, I guess I could have fixed it, but like I had sewage overflow in the basement. I don't really want to go down there. But anyways, like basically I've got a window to the outside with just like mesh on it and it's open and like just a bunch of cold air is coming into the house. Um, and this was still like not that expensive last year. But I don't think the temperatures ever got this low. I'm quite concerned about how high my gas bill could be. But I keep hearing how gas is cheaper than electric. Well, I have two bills, so it better be cheaper. Um, anyways, yeah, it is pretty cold. And when I get closer to some of the windows that are older, it is rather cold. But like that's not a huge energy loss, like compared to just a hole in my house. Like a lot of people want you to replace these windows for new, Energy Star windows, and that's kind of a scam. But like, I actually have a basement window that's completely missing, and somebody just put a mesh screen over the hole. And it's not so simple of a repair. You know, if I had to, I could fix it myself, but I don't think that I want to. I don't want to fix this myself because I wouldn't do as good of a job as a professional. It's already been like this for probably 50 years. Um, and it's not just the window is missing, like there's a small amount of the wall where like just a little chunk was taken out. So even if that window was replaced, I still have to buy some concrete and maybe a few stones or something to completely seal up that side wall, but it would help. But with the new energy windows, they are a scam. But before I get into that, I'm going to explain like if I get close to my window and I put my fingers a few inches away, I can feel that it's noticeably colder. It's maybe 5 or 10 degrees cooler right next to the window. Like, I'm talking about really close. But, like, that is way more efficient than just an open window. Like, from the upstairs, I feel the cold air coming in. And if you're around it, it's like a dramatic difference. So, these old 100-year-old windows, these, they're more than 100 years old, the windows in my home. I can feel cold air when I get right next to them. But, compared to my window with no glass in it, they're doing an amazing job. They keep my house much warmer than no glass at all. And I'm going to tell you guys the scam. The scam about these new energy-rated, like, gas-filled windows. The scam about those is that a lot of this gas, like, it slowly leaks out. So after so many years, you're supposed to replace them, which is totally unaffordable. I think you'd probably spend more replacing this window than you would ever spend on your electric bill, which they keep, like, jacking the rates up. So they're, like, including inflation in the cost. Well, by that time, to get new windows installed will cost a lot more anyways. So basically, they want you to buy these new gas-filled windows. The gas slowly leaches out, in 8 or 12 years and offers like no additional benefits. But you can save your historical windows and they can continue to function and keep your home warm by something which honestly I haven't done and I could do. And the person that lived here previously had done something like a ghetto version of. So instead of having a gas-filled window where the gas leaks out, there's a simple way to get the exact same effect. And that's just by having 2 glass windows, but you have to leave 4 inches between them. So if you have an old 100-year-old window, and then 4 inches out, then you put another glass window, which you could put like a storm window on the outside, then that actually has an air insulation barrier. And you're getting the same effect as a new gas-filled window. So these gas-filled windows are a scam. Because after 8 years, maybe, I don't remember exactly, but it's 8 or 10 or 12 years, it's not very long, then you're supposed to completely replace this window. Well, how about all the energy that went into creating, like to making the window? And then how about the landfill it's going to go in, or trying to recycle this? It's going to cost a lot more money. It's going to cost way more. And another really ghetto way that you can get the same effect is by using a plastic film. And this is what the people that had lived here before did. But like, my couch is right next to the window and I don't really notice it on the couch. It's just if I go to fix the curtain. And I have shears. Like if I put like thicker like jacquard curtains or like velvet curtains up, but I have really thin sheer curtains so I can feel it. So in the winter I really should put the others up, but I like the sunlight coming in. But anyways, if you don't want to like put a storm window on the outside, which is not that expensive, then you can just like get some plastic wrap and you can duct tape it to the windowsill. And this will also insulate your window and you can see through it. Now, possibly you could get like a better plastic film and you could get some like nicer looking tape. I want you guys to know these new energy rated windows are a scam. You're going to spend way more replacing the window than you ever will save. And then what happens? The rest of the window is just garbage. It's thrown in the trash. I have done so much for the environment. Think about it, guys. I purchased a home that is 104, maybe 105 years old now. That is how old my home is. 104 going on 105 is how old my home is. So, like, it's got the original floors. It's got the original siding. I mean, the roof's not original, but it's in such bad condition, it might as well be. Like, all of this stuff, and they did add an addition later. What I'm saying is, like, these are original materials in this home. They're the original windows. And so, in all of this time, in more than 100 years, they are the same materials. And possibly somebody upgraded a few things and put, like, new windows in an extra room, or they took a fireplace out. But regardless, what I'm saying is that there's no reason to renovate this. There's no reason to change the wall color. There's no reason to put in new countertops. You know, it works fine how it is. I just haven't it restored. So the way that I live and the home that I have has saved, you know, the environment, I guess. Because none of it has gone in the dump. None of it's gone in the garbage or been, like, unnecessarily replaced. And really, I love, like, the old reclaimed materials, and finding them is hard. I actually finally, like, when I had a little money coming in around Christmas, St. Claus holiday, I had some extra money. At that point, I went on eBay, and I ordered, like, so there's, like, a little latch that goes upstairs on the linen closet. And, like, the catch, where, so it's like a barrel bolt. But the catch that the bolt goes into was broken. And that lives here before had duct taped it in place and then painted the duct tape to match. And so, unsurprisingly, it quickly broke after I opened and closed it a couple of times. And then I realized, oh, this has been duct taped closed. And part of the catch was snapped by where the screw went in. So I actually spent like $15 to get this matching catch. And I didn't get the exact one because I didn't see the exact one, but it was close. And it's close enough you can't tell. And now it works. And yeah, that's a lot more expensive. But guys, I'm talking about original hardware that is more than 100 years old. And it looked beautiful. And honestly, the new ones just look like crap. Actually, the new ones are okay. But they look like they should be on like a farm. Or they look like very utilitarian, like in a factory. The old barrel bolt or cabinet latch, it was like some type of cast metal, but it was like dark and it had like it was like stamped and it had a bunch of designs all over it, and it looks like really fancy, like it could be in a castle. So I tried to find something new. There is nothing new that looks like that. And then I had one door where not the door handles. Oh wait, yeah, the door handles were missing too. It had no door handles. And then the little, like the frame that the handles go through, like the back plate, that was also missing. I spent $40 plus tax to get a replacement for one door. And I waited like 6 months to get this because I didn't want to spend the money. But since I had made some sales around the holy days, the high holy days of Satan Claus, actually I had the money come in, so I ordered it. And I also got some extra dog food on the way. So, you know, here, instead of, and no one would throw it away, but I'm saying is, like, I actually went and I purchased something that was reclaimed. Probably a house was being torn down, and so, somebody went and saved the hardware that they could find. You can't find anything new that looks like this. All of the new stuff, it's big, it's oversized, it's clunky, it's boring. Like, everything's flat, doesn't have any designs on it, and this old stuff, it's, like, beautiful. It looks like it'd be in a king's castle, seriously. And yeah, my house is shabby and chippy, but, like, the stuff I paid to have repaired, if that was done, this house would have been amazing. Unfortunately, now I have holes in my ceiling, more problems I didn't have before. So I do need some help. But, like, I've got a 100-year-old cast iron tub in my home. And then, like, I had Roto-Rooter come out here and look at my home, and they're like, oh, there's a leak in it, we got it fixed right away, this is an emergency situation. And what it was is, like, when you turn on the handles on the bathtub, like, a little, like, some drops of water come out when you turn it on, and they fall into the bathtub. They fall into the bathtub, which is not an emergency. And then the home inspector said there was a leak in the bathtub, and he said it could take him 5-10 minutes to fix it, and it'd be real easy. So actually, no one else could figure out what was wrong with it until I used it once. And basically, there's a drain all the way at the top by the handles. And when it gets all the way up there, which your hot water is going to run out before it reaches that, then I guess it would leak from that top drain, but not the bottom one. So it's very easy to just use this bathtub and it's fine. But yeah, it's all original. Nothing has been thrown away. And, you know, I'm still using the original handles. Like, they wanted, you know, they wanted me to have this redone and all of this stuff redone, and I didn't. Unfortunately, everything I did pay to have redone was ruined, where it was working, you know, or somewhat working before. Now nothing is working. So the new stuff, it's like a lot of it is a scam. And anything if it says, like, clean Energy Star is usually a scam. It means it is designed to break in 5 or 10 years, right out of warranty. And then, like, okay, imagine you buy a new stove. And it saves energy. It saves so much less energy. But it breaks in 5 or 10 years. That's not saving energy. Because right now, in my home, I have an oven. It's probably 70, 80 years old. And it still works. Now, I do need to buy a gasket for it. So, I got this thing, I think it was like $70, $50, something. I don't remember. It was pretty cheap. And the reason it was so cheap is because it didn't look like fancy. You know, it looks a little old, you know. And it's missing the gasket. So it's totally usable. But it's even less energy efficient. But anyways, the price of a new 40-inch stove. The only one type of 40-inch stove that they make today is $10,000. And when it was on sale, it was more than $8,000. More than $8,000. There were no other new 40-inch stoves to be found. Now, I did find one used for $800 at Restore. But anyways, if let's say I paid $70 for my stove, and I say I custom order some gaskets for $150, how many years would I have to use this stove to make up the difference there in price? And then imagine, like, I saved this stove. This stove would have been dumped in a landfill, poisoning the environment, if I didn't save it and use it. So I think the best thing to do is just to put a new gasket on it. So it's buying vintage, buying antique stuff, you know, it's good. We save the environment, but, you know, they really have cheapened new things, and a lot of it is a scam. A lot of it is a scam. They say, oh, this is better, this is better. Most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, nothing's better. The only thing that's better is, like, computers. And they've been using those to, like, track us and spy on us and, like, mind control us and manipulate us. And don't tell me that's not true, because they collect all your metadata, how long your mouse cursor hovers over an image or an article, even if you don't click on it. And then they send you targeted search results. So yes, they are mind controlling everybody. And it's in subtle ways, with advertisements and with what results you get when you type something and enter it in the search engine. So yeah, computers have gotten better, but it's a double-edged sword. Anyways, everything else has gotten worse. Building materials are trash. Homes don't last very long anymore. Like, this home has been seriously neglected, and I was going to fix it all up. This home is seriously neglected, and yet it's still standing. If this was a new home, like, it would have fallen over. It would have toppled, like, with what's happened here. Seriously. Um, and yeah, like some of the wood is shifted and stuff, but it's funny, like I just noticed recently that my upstairs door, at the top, it's not closing because I guess the home is actually shifted over 100 years. So it looked like they had planed part of it already. So I'm thinking like maybe planing it again and so it'll close properly would be a good idea. And that would be a simple fix. It has the original wood door on it. And then like in one room, I took off like the door catch because it wasn't latching anymore. And I put it on and it worked. And now in the winter, it's not working again. So I'm thinking I have to put like oh, what do you call that? Like a piece of wood to bump it out a little further. I forget what that's called. But you know, it's all original. And I really have saved the environment and a lot of money. And you know, I could do a lot of these repairs myself. But I'm at the point where I have paid people to do things and I need to pursue legal action. And I don't know if the charities are going to come through. Like, I don't want to do something on my own home the first time when I'm not familiar. I'm going to make mistakes, and I might possibly make things worse. Where something could be salvageable, I go in and try to fix it, and I don't even have the tools I would have to buy. I could possibly make it so then it's much more difficult for a professional to fix, or even somebody that's done it before. So the businesses, the legitimate businesses, way overcharge. And this is ridiculous. And unfortunately, every scammer in the world, every demon and devil has come after me in this last year and a half, and before then. So it's not a good time to ask for help. No, it's not. Can I even find an honest person, a real person to help? I don't know. But I do hear that it's our winning season. And I tell you guys about these windows. The old windows still work. Okay, these old glass windows that are 100 years old, they still work. Because when I'm like a foot away, I don't notice a difference in temperature. Okay, but when I'm 15 feet away from the basement window that has no glass in it, I can feel that. So if I'm a foot away from this old window and it has glass in it, I can't feel the temperature difference. But if I put my hand right up next to it, I can feel the difference. But yeah, I'm upstairs and I can feel the cold air coming in from the basement. So obviously this window is doing something. I want you guys to know a lot of this new stuff is a scam. The new appliances break in 8 or 10 years. And think how much money you have to pay to buy a new one. When you could just go and buy a used one for 50 or 100 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. And that would last another 50 years. Okay, maybe it would last 10 years. Maybe you spend 50 bucks and it lasts 10 years. Maybe it lasts 100 years. I don't know. These old stoves could really last a long time. The refrigerators. A lot of times these old vintage refrigerators, a lot of times they still work. They just need like the refrigerant replaced. And that can be expensive, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than the new fridges that break in a few years. I wouldn't even want these. Like smart fridges that have Wi-Fi built into it that give you cancer. When you just want to use your fridge, and it's spying on you and sending the information to the government. I guess like we don't really have to worry about that stuff now. We don't have to worry about it now because Trump's in office and things will start to get better. So don't buy a single new appliance, don't buy a new window, don't buy any new building materials now if you can help it. And the reason is because that stuff's all a scam. It's overpriced. It's made in China. It's designed to fail. It's designed to break. And shortly after Trump gets in, they've been working on research and development, R&D. They've been doing this since Trump was elected, and they're about to like release all types of new technology that are going to totally revolutionize everything. So I would hold off buying a new computer if you can. Don't get a new cell phone now if you can help it. You could probably go and buy a Q phone now if you want. Those are available. I would not buy a new cell phone, new computer, new building materials, anything. Hold off for just a little bit longer. A lot of that stuff is a scam, or it's just not as good. There is technology that's light years beyond what we're given, and it's going to be released very soon. So if you can, hold on. Okay? And also, like, a lot of that old stuff, it's way better than the new. A lot of that old stuff is way better than the new stuff. So, actually, I would keep it. And, you know, just repair what you have. Restore it if you can. A lot of this you could do very minimally. It's just we don't really have the skills anymore. This was all by design, to remove our ability to fix things ourselves. And yeah, this is intentional. So they get their computers and low quality materials that break. They don't want us to have any wealth. And part of wealth is actually a hole. And so part of stripping us from our wealth, what the cabal did is all of our structures and buildings, things that we could pass on to our children, would actually fall apart before we had a chance to create generational wealth.